If you think being humiliated in front of hundreds of people is the worst thing a spouse can do, wait until you hear what my wife did to me at her luxury party. She gave my seat to her wealthy ex-boyfriend, treated me like I was a complete stranger, and believed I would simply accept the disrespect. What happened next shocked everyone in that ballroom and changed her life forever. My name is Daniel Carter. I'm 38 years old, and until 6 months ago, I believed I had a happy marriage. I worked as a software consultant, lived a simple life, and never cared much about showing off money or success. My wife, Vanessa, was 35 and completely different. She was beautiful, ambitious, and obsessed with status. She loved luxury brands, expensive events, and making sure everyone knew how successful she was. When Vanessa announced that she was hosting a grand celebration for her latest business achievement, she spared no expense. The event was held in a luxurious hotel ballroom decorated with crystal chandeliers, golden accents, and elegant flower arrangements. More than 200 guests attended, including executives, influencers, and wealthy investors. I was genuinely proud of her and wanted to be there to support her. The evening started normally. Vanessa looked stunning in a silver designer gown. I wore a tailored black suit and arrived early to help welcome the guests. But everything changed the moment her ex-boyfriend arrived. His name was Ryan Mitchell, a wealthy entrepreneur famous for his flashy lifestyle. He walked into the ballroom wearing an expensive tuxedo and immediately became the center of attention. I noticed Vanessa's face light up the second she saw him. At first, I ignored it. Then came the moment I would never forget. When dinner was about to begin, I walked toward the VIP table where my name card had been placed earlier. But when I reached the table, my card was gone. Confused, I looked around. Vanessa approached me with an awkward smile. "Daniel, can you sit at one of the other tables tonight?" I frowned. "Why?" She glanced toward Ryan. "Well, Ryan is sitting here. Some important investors want to speak with him." I stared at her in disbelief. "You gave away my seat?" "It's just a seat," she whispered. "No, Vanessa, it isn't." Several guests nearby stopped talking and turned toward us. She forced another smile. "Please don't make this awkward." Awkward? She had just removed her own husband from the VIP table so she could impress her wealthy ex-boyfriend. I looked around the ballroom and realized that many people already understood what had happened. Some were quietly smirking. Others looked deeply uncomfortable. Ryan leaned back in his chair and casually said, "Come on, man, it's not a big deal." That was when I finally understood. This wasn't about a seat. This was about humiliation. Vanessa wanted to impress everyone by showing that she still had access to the wealthy man she had once dated. I quietly nodded. "You're right," I said. "It's not a big deal." She looked relieved. I walked away without saying another word. For the next hour, Vanessa laughed with Ryan, introduced him to investors, and completely ignored me. Then came the speeches. As the host of the event, Vanessa stepped onto the stage first. She thanked her guests, her colleagues, and several investors. Interestingly, she never mentioned me. Not once. After the applause faded, the master of ceremonies smiled. "And now we'd like to invite Daniel Carter to say a few words." Vanessa's expression changed instantly. She clearly hadn't expected that. I calmly walked onto the stage. The entire room became quiet. I thanked everyone for coming and congratulated Vanessa on her success. Then I paused. "I'd also like to share something important tonight." The guests leaned forward. Vanessa suddenly looked nervous. You could hear a pin drop. "I've spent the last 3 years helping build a company from the ground up. Many people here know the company, but very few know who actually owns it." Whispers immediately spread throughout the ballroom. Ryan crossed his arms. I continued. "6 months ago, my business partners and I sold part of that company in a deal worth more than $50 million. The room erupted with shocked murmurs. Vanessa's eyes widened. Ryan suddenly stopped smiling. Most of the investors in attendance knew exactly which company I was talking about. Many of them had already done business with us. Then I delivered the final surprise. The reason several major investors attended tonight isn't because of Ryan. The ballroom became completely silent. It's because they learned I would be here. Gasps echoed across the room. Several executives nodded. One investor even raised his glass toward me. Vanessa looked like she could barely breathe. For years, she had assumed I was simply an ordinary consultant because I never bragged about my success. I preferred privacy. She preferred appearances. And tonight, those appearances finally betrayed her. I looked directly at Vanessa. The saddest part isn't losing a seat, it's discovering that your spouse values status more than loyalty. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. The silence was overwhelming. I thanked the audience and stepped away from the microphone. The applause began slowly. Then it exploded across the ballroom. Guests stood to their feet. Several investors walked over to shake my hand. Meanwhile, Vanessa remained frozen in her chair. For the first time that entire night, she wasn't the center of attention. A week later, she apologized repeatedly and claimed she had made a terrible mistake. But some mistakes reveal who a person truly is. 2 months later, I filed for divorce. As for Ryan, he disappeared from the picture almost immediately once the attention faded. The luxury party Vanessa had dreamed about became famous for an entirely different reason. Not because of her success, but because the husband she had tried to humiliate turned out to be the most respected person in the room.